Okay, if you've ever had an office job, you know the feeling. That email lands in your inbox announcing a brand new system is coming, and your heart sinks a little, right? Well, in this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain on why that feels so painful and what a truly successful upgrade looks like from the inside.
It's a fair question, isn't it? That moment you log into a new tool and suddenly everything you used to do on autopilot now takes forever. I promise it's not just you. This is an incredibly common experience, and there's a really simple human reason behind it all.
And there it is. At its heart, the challenge isn't really about technology, it's about psychology. We're all creatures of habit. We get comfortable, and any big system change forces us out of that familiar routine and into something new and uncertain. That transition, that's where all the friction is.
So let's get right into the nuts and bolts of this process, because it's pretty much inevitable. We're going to break down how companies manage this big shift from the old and familiar to the new and, well, different. And more importantly, how the best ones make it feel smooth instead of painful.
This quote really just nails it. You're never, ever starting with a clean slate. It's more like you're trying to change the engine of a car while it's still driving down the highway. It's that overlap, that complexity, that makes everything so tricky. So here's the big secret. When a new system rollout goes well, it's not some kind of magic trick. It's not because the software was flawless or because everyone just got it on day one. Nope, it's because of a staggering amount of detailed, meticulous planning that happened for months, sometimes even years, before you ever saw that new login screen. And that planning process, it's not random. It's actually structured around what we can call the 4 pillars. You can think of this as the blueprint, the essential guide that administrators use to build a really solid bridge from the old system to the new one.
These 4 areas are basically where an implementation lives or dies. First, you've got assigning personnel. That's getting the right people on the team. Second, structuring relationships, making sure the tech folks and the users are actually talking to each other. Third is preparing equipment, all the hardware stuff. And finally, number 4, training users. Each one of these is a critical piece of the puzzle.
That first pillar is all about the team. And it's not just about finding tech wizards. It's about finding good problem solvers, people who can think on their feet when those completely unexpected, weird issues pop up, which they always do. Now, I love this quote because it gets to the heart of that second pillar, relationships. The smart way to do this is to schedule regular meetings between the tech team and the people who will actually use the system, way before anything goes wrong. Because think about it. If the first time you meet the IT guy is because the whole system is on fire, that's not going to be a great first impression.
Okay, let's zoom in on the pillar that probably affects us the most directly, training. And this is so much more than just a quick demo of where the new buttons are. It's really about managing the human side of all this change. I mean, just think about it for a second. A new system can completely change your daily workflow, how you talk to your teammates, even how confident you feel doing your job. Good training sees those anxieties coming and deals with them head-on. It's not just about the software. This is pretty much the checklist for great training. Yeah, it informs people, gives them practice, answers questions, all that good stuff. But look at that last point. That's the secret sauce. The ultimate goal is to create a feeling of ownership, to make people feel like it's their system, not just something being shoved down their throats.
All right, all the planning is in the rearview mirror. We've arrived at the most critical moment of the entire process, the conversion. This is it. This is the high-stakes, moving day for the whole company, when you flip the switch from the old system to the new one.
And conversion is just the technical word for that switch. It's that moment where all the planning and preparation gets put to the ultimate test. It's kind of the point of no return. The best conversion is a fast one. It's like ripping off a Band-Aid. The longer an organization is stuck running 2 systems at once, the more confusing and frustrating it gets for everybody. The goal is to make that switch as clean and quick as possible.
But how do you actually do it? Well, this shows the trade-offs of one popular method, running both systems in parallel. On one hand, it's the safest way to go. If the new system has a meltdown, no big deal, you just switch back to the old one. But the downsides are huge. It can literally double your costs. And what's really fascinating is that it can make people resist the change because their old, comfy system is still right there for them to use. So as we get closer to that go-live moment, the planning gets even more intense. We're in the final countdown now, and success comes down to an incredibly detailed checklist.
And just look at the level of detail we're talking about here. A conversion plan isn't some vague idea. It is a specific, step-by-step document. It lists every single file, every bit of data, and assigns a specific person to every single task, all on a super strict schedule. This is project management in overdrive.
And here's what separates a good plan from a truly great one. A great plan doesn't just hope for the best. It actively plans for things to go wrong. What if a key person calls in sick? What if a data file is messed up? The plan already has a backup for that.
So when you boil it all down, this is really the #1 takeaway. Of course, the technology has to work, but a truly successful system upgrade is won or lost on the human side of things, through that meticulous planning, constant communication, and training that actually respects the user.
So, I'll leave you with this question. The next time your company announces a new system is on the way, you'll have this insider's view. What are you going to be looking for? Will you be able to spot the signs of good planning, of relationship building, of training that actually empowers people? Because now, you know what real success looks like.